Billie Eilish. It's got some great music.
She really does. She really does. And I like her so much because I feel like her music changes with every album and it changes like
Okay.
significantly.
Okay. Well, this happier than ever one is just like echoes hard. It's
It
great. I
does.
love it.
I do too. I do too. It's definitely like I love when albums come out and I can't immediately pick a favorite song. Like I have to listen to it beginning to end when I
Yeah.
listen to it. Like if
Mm.
I want to, like I felt that way when Harry's House came out. I felt that way when Happier Than Ever came out. I'm just like, I need to listen to it start to end.
What's your favorite song on Happier Than Ever?
Um, the Happier Than Ever is a great song. I will say that's a song for a very specific mood. That's a song that makes me go too fast when I drive. But I love that song.
Huh.
I also really like Male Fantasy and Billy Bossa Nova.
Yeah, Billy Bossa Nova. That's a fantastic one.
That is,
Oxytocin. Oxytocin. That's
yeah,
like
that is a
right
great
up
song.
there on my top repeat. Goldwing. Goldwing.
Goldwing is a
It's
good song. I feel like that
fantastic.
song's really underrated.
It really is.
Yeah,
Well, it
no
like
one.
builds it like, and it's not too long either.
Mhm.
I didn't change my number and NDA.
I love
Oh man.
NBA.
Yeah.
I love NBA.
What's okay, so what's kind of like her story or like her she's only 20 years old.
Yeah, she's young. She's so young. I like forget sometimes. I first started listening to her like when I was a freshman in college. So it was like when her EP was out and it was like with My Boy and Bellyache, like that, like those songs were what were out.
Okay.
And I was a freshman in college. I remember I was like, I really like her. Like, and I Googled her and I was like, this, and she was like 17 at the time. And I was like, oh my God. And I had this weird moment where I was like, I'm at an age where the upcoming pop stars are younger than me now. And that was very
Oh
weird
yeah,
for
get used to it.
that was very weird for me. That she was like the first one, and now there's Olivia Rodrigo and this whole new other era of Disney stars. But Billie Eilish was the first one where I was like, oh, that's gonna start happening.
So I'm especially curious about or like impressed with is how it seems like pop stars and say in this example like female pop stars, it
Mhm.
seems like they're in kind of like an incubator or like system where they're younger and they do stuff for Disney or Nickelodeon or whatever it may be. And then they're kind of brought up um, through this like machine and
Mhm.
then propelled to like stardom, where it seemed like almost Billie Eilish was completely natural and authentic and it just
Yeah,
came organically.
yeah, and that is so interesting because like if you try to look up anything about like her family, like it's not like her family. It's not like she comes from a very famous family. Like her and her brother just like to work on music together. And what I think is so interesting about her is that like she became so popular by the time she was like 17 years old because her and her brother just made music and put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Like they just did it by themselves to the point where they eventually got so popular that she's one of the biggest pop stars in the world now.
She put this on what was it like ocean
Yeah. Yeah, Ocean Eyes. And I think she just uploaded it on like SoundCloud or Spotify even, but it was just it took off.
it seems like that's what other like big stars got famous that way.
I don't know, like off the top of my head. Like I'm sure there are some, but just like to
But
put yourself.
that's like the epitome or the perfect example of like what's possible in the
Mhm.
21st century, where like as far as gatekeepers go, there are none. If you put
Yeah,
something out and then all of a sudden everybody loves it, like that
yeah,
just like rockets propels you to stardom. Whereas
yeah.
like, but it still seems like a majority, they're all kind of channeled through this machine
Mhm.
um, that props them up. But it seems like she's so radically different and her music is more meaningful because it's not like produced by this machine. It's produced by her and her brother,
Yeah,
right?
which
At
I
least
know,
that's
and I
kind of the concept I'm imagining.
yeah, it does seem like her and her brother work on all her music together. And like I'm sure at a point there's some influence from like the amount that she has to do, but like it does seem like they love to make music. So I remember like her debut album came out when we all fall asleep, and I think like 2 3 months after it came out, like a new single came out that wasn't even on the album. Like she was just making music constantly because she
Mhm.
wanted to and she could.
Like a true artist.
Yeah, like she just wanted to make music.